Hello children, and welcome to another literacy time. Today we're going to be thinking about how we can improve our sentences. We're going to be thinking about how we can write extended sentences. We've done this together at school already this year, but I'm just going to remind you how we do this learning. Let's look at my sentence, which is about the start of the story. Alice was very upset. It would be a really good idea to tell the reader more information in that sentence, so we can use a conjunction to extend it further. Let's have a reminder of what conjunctions are. Let's start with a basic definition. Conjunctions are words that join words or groups of words. There are two main types. Coordinating conjunctions, which you learned about in Key Stage 1. The other type of conjunction are subordinating conjunctions, which is what we're going to focus on today. Let's recap both types. Coordinating conjunctions include and, or, but, for and nor. These conjunctions connect words, phrases and clauses of equal value. The two clauses can stand alone. Let's look at two examples. We're going to look at the writing we did about Stig of the Dump to help us. Example 1. Barney fell into the chalk pit. He crashed through the roof of Stig's den. I'm going to join those two sentences together using a conjunction. Barney fell into the chalk pit and he crashed through the roof of Stig's den. I'm telling the reader more information in one sentence rather than two. The second example is, when he returned, Barney told Grandma and Lou about Stig. Obviously, they didn't believe him. I'm now going to join those two sentences together using a coordinating conjunction. When he returned, Barney told Grandma and Lou about Stig. But obviously they didn't believe him. Today's focus is on subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions join two clauses and one of the clauses is dependent on the other to make sense. It can't stand alone. Most commonly used subordinating conjunctions include, and we've got a list of them here. Read them with me. Although, because, as, while, until, whether, since, after, so that, when, before and if. Let's work through two examples together. In this sentence you will see there is a main clause that can stand on its own. It's then followed by a subordinating clause which wouldn't make sense on its own, it needs the main clause with it. The following morning, Barney quickly devoured his breakfast since he was desperate to see if Stig was still in the pit. I could end the sentence after breakfast. That's the main clause that can stand on its own. The following morning, Barney quickly devoured his breakfast. I've continued it with a subordinating conjunction and clause which wouldn't make sense on its own. Since he was desperate to see if Stig was still in the pit, you can see it can't stand alone. Let's move on to the final example. Barney loved Stig's den, even though it was dark and filled with rubbish. The main clause is, Barney loved Stig's den. It can stand alone. However, we've then continued it with a subordinating clause which can't stand alone. Even though it was dark and filled with rubbish, it needs that main clause to make sense. Let's have a go at extending that very first sentence we looked at the start. Alice was very upset. It's a main clause. It can stand alone, but we want to tell the reader more. On the left you can see the list of subordinating conjunctions and I'm going to have a go now at extending it. Alice was very upset when she grew and couldn't get out of the house. Alice was very upset until she started to shrink again. See how you can extend that sentence now. I hope that was a good reminder about conjunctions. Use this to help you with the rest of your learning. Work hard. Bye-bye.